inside of that, usually when triangle patterns happen, that means, you know, price is really building tension. It can't really break up. It can't really break down. It can't really break up. It can't really break down. Then it just goes sideways so long to the point where one of the two sides has to explode. All that tension just explodes. So when this happened, we had, you know, the initial wave was wave 1. We had the wave 2 on the bull flag. Wave 3 did not break the all-time high. Wave 4 did not break the low. And then wave 5 kind of moved us sideways. After we had our 5-wave move, we kind of pulled back and then took our launch, right? Once we did that, we created the exact same pattern 2 times, and it was like picture perfect, right? So we had this big bull flag with the impulse, finally broke out of the triangle. We came back down, formed a bull flag. Remember the flag and the flagpole? Wave 1, wave 2, and wave, you know, like 3, wave 4. We had a wave 5, and you see price pulled back inside of this triangle. And then once it pulled back after that 5th wave, we shot way up, you know, with the sacrifice phase, okay? So what's happening right here, right now, we are creating the exact same pattern for a 3rd straight time, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you guys exactly why. It's not picture perfect, but it is, I mean, Hex draws the most beautiful, like, patterns ever for typical technical analysis guys, right? So what do we have? We broke out of that triangle, massive impulse, massive bull flag. I mean, this is a huge bull flag, right? So, but you think wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, right here, we did not break the high right there. Wave 4 pulled back, did not break the low. Right now, what are we doing? We're doing like a 5th wave again. So if history repeats itself, we can expect the same thing. After the 5th wave, maybe the stars might be aligning. I'm not calling no shots with no time frames, but if history literally repeats itself for a 3rd straight time, I would not be shocked to see the price where it's at, you know, tap this little mini triangle kind of a trend line short term. Keep in mind, this is the 4-hour chart. Pull back. Once we officially flip this gray range, once we officially flip this gray range into a support line once and for all, that might align perfectly with, you know, that little pullback after the 5 waves inside of a triangle. And then what's next? That next big move up. If you guys watched my video, I told you guys 25 cents was the next move. I already have my next major target. Like you mentioned earlier, once we have that impulse, we usually pull back for a long period of time. That's usually like, you know, 3, maybe 4 weeks. So if we go back to that first triangle pattern, and keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, every candle is a weekly candle, okay? So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We made this high right here with this wick. It took 1, 2, 3. So, I mean, 3.5 counting the week that this happened. So 1, 2, 3 candles before this all-time high was broken. So we made the all-time high, kind of chill for, you know, 3 to 4 weeks. We finally broke it. Second triangle pattern. We made this all-time high 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4 weeks. Who knows? Somewhere in here is where we broke it. So impulse, 3 to 4 week correction. Impulse, 3 to 4 week correction. What's going on now? Impulse, 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th week of a correction. Okay, so this candle is the 4th week. If it's going to be perfect, that means this can. If this wants to perfectly align with the last 2 triangles we had, that means this candle is going to land at over 20 cents in 2 to 3 days. I mean, what we just talked about, 2 to 3 days, if things do happen perfectly, I mean, that could line up. I wouldn't bank on that though. I would bank on maybe next week's candle. If we get that 13.6 support line that we are looking for inside this triangle, 3 days it could happen, but maybe by the end of next week. So that gives us a window of 3 to 10 days, basically. If the stars do align and the pattern plays out the way we just drew it and just literally recreates history, we can expect that next candle to at least break the all-time high around 20 cents. But if we're moving, we're moving. And if we're moving, I'm pretty sure it's because the pulse chain test net's probably dropped and we're about to, you know, get that mainnet talk, you know, or the snapshot or the actual fork where people get free hex. People are going to just buy that buy one, get one hex, you know. How long did it take Ethereum to do its first 130,000? Let's take this off. Let me go. I have to go to the weekly here because this has so much more time under it. Let me just delete all this stuff off of here. So Ethereum's 130,000% from day one. Whoops. I got to actually get it like after it drops. 130,000. 103, 130, 120, 130. It took roughly, okay, so that's 130,000%. Let's see how long that took for Ethereum to get to where HEX is now from day one? 882 days. So it took Ethereum an extra 300, roughly. It's 306. Let's just go. It took Ethereum an extra 300 days, almost a whole year, to get exactly the gains that HEX is at now. So that just goes to show the pace that HEX is moving is blazing a lot faster than Ethereum. Ethereum is at what, 14,000x right now? HEX is moving a year ahead of time based off right now.